All right, welcome everybody to another great AMA here in the Cryptonaires Discord. I'm so happy that you guys are with us. We are here with the CEO of Geospatial Marketplace, MyGeoTokens. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself maybe to the people that don't know you, and a little bit about who you are and why you built this incredible project?
Sure, sounds good. Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate the time and attention. So I'm Steve Ennis. I'm the CEO and founder of GeoTokens. I spent half my year in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So way up here in the north in the snow, and then but to avoid the snow, I get down to Mexico for half the year. So I do 6 months in Canada and 6 months in Mexico. A little bit about me. I come from sort of traditional business, not even like Web 2. I come from the world of traffic and traffic technology, not web traffic, but actual traffic. So I worked at a company for the last 20 years called ATS Traffic. And most recently, what I did for them the last 5 or 6 years, I built their intelligent transportation systems division across Canada. So a lot of the camera equipment, LiDAR, laser gear that you see at the intersections that allow vehicles to move through the intersection quicker and more safely. We distributed and did a lot of consulting work for the installation of these kinds of things.
So you're basically keeping the traffic flow of Canada going and people not having to sit at stoplights and being able to just get to where they need to go in a timely manner. Is that kind of what your last couple of years of your life in? It's a while, right?
Yes, the last, well, yeah, I was with the company almost 20 years. So it was a crazy thing that I did, just, quitting. I knew that I needed to be an entrepreneur. I've been in this space for quite a while. One of my mentors, I believe 2014 or 15, told me about something called Ethereum. Mm-hmm. And he said, you should check this out. And I think it was $6 or something at that time. So obviously I didn't get any when he told me to. But I did, as it rose, 50, 60, kind of bought in. I've been buying in for a long time now. So I'm definitely a hodler of crypto for quite some time.
Awesome. Well, that's fantastic. And the crypto space will do that to you, right? I was selling real estate, and then I found crypto, and then I just, my whole life kind of changed, and it just shifted into, digital assets. And this is kind of where I thought the future was heading. And so it sounds like you kind of got the same bug, and here you are. So what is MyGeoTokens? Like, what is this project, and why did you create it? What is the need here?
So MyGeoTokens, we call it the world's first geospatial NFT marketplace. And I know that sounds probably too techy for most of the normies who we're trying to attract to the platform, quite frankly. But really what that is it's an NFT marketplace where you need to be in a certain place at a certain time in order to collect an NFT, in order to pull it down and collect. Is how we're building it. So this is our IP. We have the patent pending on this, and essentially our claims in this patent application, or that we sort of own anything where there's a set of users. One user decides to drop an NFT with data attributes that are geo coordinates, and then the other person, and something where the other person needs to prove that they are within those geo coordinates. So we do believe that we will own this geofencing technology as it relates to NFTs. Awesome. So it's proof of location. It's a proof of location, and that was the need that we saw. Is the original idea for this was geocaching, and everybody that's out in the forest looking for treasure. And I have done this, and I actually think it's kind of neat and kind of cool. But I thought that there was a better way to do this, and you could actually drop digital treasure for people. On an island, potentially, right? Where people might need to sail to an island in order to collect something. So maybe there was something missing where you need to draw the fence. And I come from a world, I sold geospatial asset management programs in my past life. So this is where I grew to love maps. I sold to municipalities, and we were selling basically a program that put signs on a map, guardrail on a map, everything that required maintenance. So I became very familiar with maps and putting assets on maps.
So your whole background is this, which is great because sometimes we have developers and founders of projects that have really no experience in what they've actually built, right? And so sometimes they're just good at contracts or something else, and they don't really have the background that they need to really take this and have the project succeed. So let's talk about how this would actually work. So I live in Hawaii. Let's say there's an opportunity where, like, I mean, I was reading through the white paper and maybe I misunderstood it, but it sounds like I can maybe take a photo of something and turn it into an NFT. Like, how's this supposed to work? Like, just for the regular user that wants to turn something into an NFT or create, a buzz or do something. How does it all work?
Yeah, so I mean, if you're just a regular person, you're vacationing in Hawaii, you could hike to the top of a volcano there, someplace that might be hard to get to. You could take a selfie of yourself, and an NFT is just a file. It's just a photo. So you can turn that selfie of yourself into an NFT, create a total supply available of 100, determine what that price might be, and drop 100 selfies of yourself that people would need to summit that volcano. The same height that you did in order to pull that down. I mean, that's not a super convincing use case, but now envision like a big rave, like Tiesto in the jungle or something like that, right? And
like
he's got a special VIP section set up in one area. So he or probably not Tiesto himself, but somebody who's doing some of the work for him would draw a geofence around that VIP section. As a perk to VIP holders, or you can release it to the whole crowd, right? You can draw just a larger geofence around the entire venue, and you can say, grab this now to get backstage passes, or whatever value or utility that you want to create as the dropper. We don't assign the utility to the dropped NFTs. That's up to whoever is creating or dropping them. But we create the platform for them to tell people they need to be in a certain place in order to collect them. And so we like the concert venue artist use case a lot.
And that, yeah, because that'll be unique, because right, not everyone will be able to travel and do this. So if they want this certain if they want to connect with the community or be in this moment or whatever, they would go on the marketplace, buy the NFT, and that's how they would kind of be a part of that opportunity or that event. Is that right?
Exactly. Yeah. And you said connect with the community there. So I was at this called Tulum Crypto Fest. Like I said, I spent half the year in Mexico, so I attended this Tulum Crypto Fest last year. And somebody there, they do beach cleanups. Organize a bunch of people on the beach in order to clean up the bottles and plastic and these kinds of things. And he said, how would it work for me in my business? So we talked for a little bit, and we said, well, okay, that's just a geofence around where the beach cleanup is going to be happening that day. And you either create your own NFT, 100 of them to the first, maybe they're free for the first 100 people that show up. Or maybe you have somebody donate a more valuable NFT, and maybe there's a giveaway for, one of the people who show up are going to be gifted this NFT. There's a bunch of things you can do, but, it's still at the core. The technology is influencing movement, getting people to move to where you want them to be is kind of what the tech does.
I love that. And that's what you've been doing, for the last, 20 years. You've been getting people to where they need to be, basically, in Canada with all the traffic. So talk to us a little bit about maybe other use cases around it. So you can create this experience. This is going to be good for, athletes or celebrities or influencers or anyone that just kind of wants to create a moment for themselves. So, is there a situation where, like, let's say, I'm in a government park, or I'm in a city and I take a picture of a landmark. Is there any, like, issues with that? Like if this is like Staples Center that's owned by a company, and I'm trying to create revenue out of that situation, is there an issue there, or is this kind of this new world where we can kind of get around this by having these NFTs?
No, I think you're taking pictures in public places, so I don't think there's any issues with that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't see. Well, it could happen actually, but I don't see a lot of people, taking pictures of the Staples Center and then allowing others to come and collect it. I mean, I'm not sure what the value of that might be. But you talk about influencers. I do see this as a big play for influencers to create and collaborate with an artist to create a super cool collectible that maybe has some special invites and part of their loyalty club potentially, or as a gateway into their loyalty club, where they could do an event at a nightclub in Vegas. And of course, you have to draw the geofence around the nightclub that night. But then, the first 100 people, you could sell these things for $250. So it's an extra revenue stream for a lot of these, a lot of the influencers, and you're not asking for a PO from these people. So, it's a collaboration and it's essentially a revenue share, right? I'm sure we'll get into sort of how the platform makes money.
Yeah.
But you're not asking for a PO. So the sale's a lot easier.
And just to kind of talk about these benefits or what you're talking about, you're talking about access to loyalty programs, exclusive content. Can you share a little bit about how you kind of see this? Like, let's just take, me for an example. Like, I wanted to create this special rewards program. So what would I guess this is probably a question for myself, but what do you see people like me offering as far as like loyalty programs or exclusive content? Like, where do you see that going, and how big could that be?
Yeah, so someone like yourself that has a really nice Discord community. Do you guys do meetups? Do you guys do meetups anywhere?
The last time we had a meetup was in Las Vegas in 2022, and that was a lot of fun. That was pretty wild. So yes. Nice.
Okay, so let's take the meetup, right? So everybody who attends the meetup, wherever it is, you'll drop some sort of super cool Cryptonaires animation, some sort of cool NFT available to whoever is at that meetup that night. And then the value is, well, it's whatever you want it to be, but some suggestions would be, special access into a Discord channel where you get, pre-sale access to a bunch of different, NFTs or discounted NFTs, and you negotiate this with anybody who sells through the platform. These are just ideas, but again, we don't really assign the utility. We provide, the ability for you to lock in a location and tell people they need to be there in order to collect.
Got it. And how does the platform make money? How do you guys take a percentage of every NFT sold? Do you guys take a percentage to kind of set up this program? Talk to us about the how you guys are going to stay in business for the long haul.
Sure. So we don't have a native coin. That's a big thing. Everybody keeps asking if we do, and the more that I say we don't, the more people like it. Actually, I think that not every project needs a coin. Yeah. There has to be reason for it. That being said, we are launching our Genesis NFTs as a funding method in early January or mid-January. So this is going to be 5 variations of Geo, our little mascot that you can see in some of the profile pics of the people been attending here. But we have created 3,333 of these NFTs, 5 variations. The most rare being Lunar Geo, and each of them has it's Geo on the moon, and each one of them has their own utility. So I'll go to how we make money, and then I'll get back into the utility a little bit. But so 3 revenue streams in the platform for MyGeoTokens. The first is commission. So there's a commission wallet set up. 20%. We take 20% of anything that people are paying for on the platform. And again, you can charge for NFTs you're dropping, or you can also drop for free. There is the option to drop for free. It disappears off the map much quicker if it's a free drop, is kind of how that works.
Okay.
So that's the first revenue stream, is 20% commission of anything purchased. The second is royalties. And now lots of good progress made on the on-chain enforcement of royalties over the last year. So it's 5% to the original dropper is the royalty, and 5% to MyGeoTokens. So MyGeoTokens does take a little cut of the royalties. And then the third revenue stream, and most interesting because this is where the revenue share comes in for our NFT holders, is what I'm calling the Collectors Club. And the Collectors Club is 5% of anything that's dropped on the platform gets automatically deposited into our wallet, the MyGeoTokens wallet. So we become collectors as well. we manage the collection to make money, essentially. So we decide as a group what to do with our collection of art and when to sell it and when to keep. So 20% of this collectors club is being given up to the pre-sale, the Genesis NFT holders.
And really quickly, this because I noticed it was 5 tiers. Is every tier a different price, or is it all randomized? Like you pay $500 or $100, whatever the price is, and maybe I should ask you how much it is too. But talk to us about the different tiers, and is it just random, or do you pay for each tier?
It is random. It is random. So we're actually building this mint page right now and what it's going to look like. But yes, it will be. And what the price we have set at right now, this is, unless Solana goes totally wacky, which it kind of already has in the last little bit, but we are a Solana project.
Yeah.
We're going to look at around 3.5 Solana for whitelists.
Okay.
And 5 Solana for normies. This is, unless we go up from here significantly, then we might have to look at it again. But that's what we've got so far. And it is an unwrapping of the NFT. So you buy a little wrapped present, and then it'll unwrap, and you can figure out what you got. But it will be one of the 5.
Are the NFTs unique in characteristics? Like, do they have laser eyes, or like, is it, kind of talk to us about, are they designed? Are they just kind of basic? I mean, talk to us a little bit about what might people find when they unwrap this present.
They're pretty basic, and that's intentional.
Okay.
Can I share my screen really quick?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
And I will click on it as soon as you share it. That way, the people that can't be here.
Go live.
All right. So he just shared his screen. If you guys can click on the watch, we can take a look at what he's sharing.
All right. So this is our good Git book, and huge props to the marketing and community building team that is working on this project. They've done a fantastic job of putting this together. So thanks to them. So this is the Super Geo Club. I'll tell you a little bit about that. But these are the 5 variations, right? We have Lunar Geo is the most rare, Globe Geo, Cliffhanger, POTUS, and Mapping Geo. So they're simple. I mean, they're essentially illustrations, and this is by design because each year we are going to drop new designs of each of these 5 variations in collaboration with cool designers. And these will be dropped sort of as our golden eggs into the map each year. It'll be our sort of proprietary drop, and we won't tell anybody except for our NFT holders of this Genesis collection. We'll give them hints as to where these things are going to be dropped. So it's kind of like we're creating a bit of a treasure hunt, a little bit of the geocaching type thing. But we want these things to get more 3D, more animation. This is a starting point, and then we plan on bringing Geo to life over the years. So this is POTUS Geo, the initial. The zero is the Genesis.
Yeah.
We've got Cliffhanger.
I love it. And by owning these, you can own a share of the revenue on the platform, right?
Yeah. So for each of them, you can see for the Globe Geo, that's 4%. Shared Collectors Club rewards. So this is the revenue share. That's 4% distributed across all of the holders.
Wow.
Okay. Lunar Geo, that's 5%, gets distributed across all the holders of this. And then we have Super Geo Club. The Super Geo Club is anybody who owns one of each. So there will be a maximum of 33 because there's only 33 Lunar, the most rare. There'll be a maximum of 32 Super. We've designed this little guy already, but I guess we're going to let it be a surprise. But these will be airdropped to everybody, and there's an additional 5%. So it starts to add up nicely for the Super Geo Club in the sense that they'll have 5% plus the 5% from the Lunar plus the 4% from the Geo. So it looks, we like the revenue share idea, and I think it's it's what communities are kind of asking for now. So I think we've thought our way through this pretty well.
I like that. And so, but you're not going to know what you're going to get. So you might have to buy and sell on the secondary market, right? To get all 5, right? Because if you just do it randomly, you might not get all 5, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Beautiful. So let's talk a little bit about the technology that you guys have built. Right? Is the technology created already? Or are you guys still working on it? Talk to us about where it is and the development, how long this has taken, and just a little bit of background on the technology itself.
Yeah, I've been so Robot Sea Monster is our development partner. I'm really happy with this choice. I searched long and hard for the right development house. They're basically a Web3 gaming development company out of San Fran. They love the project. So we've been working with them for, well, I'll say like 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
We are about 35 to 40% done the build. We're a startup, so we are playing that game of raising and building, right? So once we do this NFT sale, that gets the platform built, and we will be built by the end of April.
Okay.
And then we want first 100,000 users by the end of August. Is sort of roadmap.
And how do you plan to get those first 100,000 users? I mean, are you guys obviously, if you guys do a good job selling out the NFTs, are you putting a portion of that to marketing? And how are you guys going to build out that marketing? What does that look like?
There will be a little bit of marketing, but that's less how we're going to get the 100,000 users. Our strategy for the first 100,000 are strictly events.
Okay.
So they're going to be event collaborations, and I've spent some time selling to these events and pitching, and honestly, there's a lot lined up. It's they love the idea of killing the T-shirt sales and firing up the NFT sales from the audience.
Yeah.
I was talking to BKS Backstage. They're a cool Web3 ticketing company, and they were telling me a little bit about the conversion rate of people in an audience and what you can expect. And it's crazy when people are engaged and they're at an event and they're 100% there. If you flash a big QR code up on the screen and the artist or whoever's on the mic says, "Hey, check this out," it's over 50% of people are probably going to scan that with their phones, that QR code. They've all got their phones out anyway at these shows. So yeah, I mean, we have a wickedly huge spreadsheet specific to the first 100,000 users, and it basically comes in. It's 20 events, ranging in attendance with some assumed conversion rate from in the audience to scan the QR code to purchase.
I love that. That's really cool because I haven't been to an event in the last couple of years, but I've been to EDC a bunch and a few other events, and those are great times. And yes, everybody has their phone, everyone's recording, and so that's brilliant. Talk to us about the patents, right? Because I noticed, very, very rarely do I read through Git books and white papers and I see, patent work. And so talk to us about, these patent designs. Do you have somebody in-house that's working on this? What's the process like for the, let's first talk about the technology that you are patenting, and then we can talk about where the process is in the patents themselves.
Yeah. So, sorry, you said the process of patenting?
No, because you guys do have a few different patents, right, that you guys are looking at or trying to get patents. So let's talk about what you guys are trying to patent first, and then we can talk about where those patents stand right now, and if these are going to get approved and what you think.
Sure. So we have the one patent pending right now, and we only decided to pursue that after sort of exhaustive research on whether what's our percentage likelihood of this happening. And I'm working with a partner. He actually used to do all the patent filing for Nokia back when Nokia was something.
Yeah. Phone snake.
And actually creating some cool stuff. Yeah. So really experienced guy. It's funny how I think I found him actually on Upwork at some point, and we've got to know each other pretty good. He's done some other work for me too. But yeah, his name's Bino, and he's really, really thorough, which these people need to be.
Yeah.
So he's the one who writes these for me. I sub this out to him. He understands our business and what we're trying to do. And then the one patent pending that we have, like I said, we are trying. Our claims are that it's a system where one user says where you need to be, to pick up an NFT, and another user needs to prove that they're there within the geofence to collect it. And we thought it especially important to get that because this is the piece that's missing, right? There is people trying to do this, and recently they did a cool little treasure hunt around Manhattan. I forget the name of the company that was doing it, but really it was a QR code that they had posted above, doors all throughout Manhattan, and you had to go from door to door. But with these kinds of things, you can take a picture of the QR code and you can send it to your friends and they can collect it from their couch too, right? So there's ways around it, and it's this proof of location verification. Is the step in the process that was missing and that we thought would be a good idea to protect.
I love that. Why did you guys decide to build on Solana? What benefits does Solana offer you with NFTs? I mean, I have some rough ideas, but I'd love to hear from you why you built on Solana and not, Ethereum. Let me just mute William there. Sorry about that. Why did you guys decide to build on Solana?
This is a really frequently asked question these days. So there's 3 reasons. First, I got in on Solana during the last bull run. So I got super euphoric and excited and started to explore the tech, started to get to know the community a little bit more. And I was definitely digging everything that happened with Solana the last bull run. Yeah. So I have a love for it.
Made some money.
Yeah, you made some money. Secondly, it does everything that we need a blockchain to do for what we're trying to do here. We envision potentially millions of these NFTs all over the globe. So we need something to be ultra cheap to mint, and ultra fast. And Solana is sort of leading the way, I would say there. And the third reason is it was a little bit strategic. I wanted to have an easier way to stand out in the crowd. And I thought that this project could get a little bit more attention if we were hanging out in a little bit smaller community in Solana, in the Sol space rather than in the ETH.
And I think too, if since you are an NFT marketplace and you're going to do a lot of transactions, it's much cheaper for people to transact, and not everybody has $40 or to spend on a gas fee. And I think you open the project up to more people, and you include more people in what you're building on Solana, and it just kind of feels like it's a superior technology over Ethereum and some other blockchains at this point.
Yeah, they're doing super cool things, right? I mean, you could be grabbing NFTs for $4 or $5, yep. Hypothetically here. So the gas fees need to be almost zero or pennies in order to mint these things. So Solana's, in my opinion, leading that race.
Do you, the name of the Discord and MyGeoTokens, do you guys need to maybe rebrand the name because you don't have a token? It might confuse people, or what is your thought process on that? Because I mean, I did get a bit confused because is there a token involved here? I just got a little confused with the name, and do you think you might change that, or do you think that's just me being OCD and pointing that out?
You don't like our name? You don't like our name, Sensei?
I think the name's cool. I just was like, where's the token? Is there a token here? But it makes sense. So no worries.
I'm messing with you. No, I think we could name it Your GeoTokens maybe. But I guess that's kind of what we're getting at there, right? Is we want somebody to think of it as my GeoTokens. They're all of your GeoTokens. They're your tokens that you're dropping around the world that are yours.
Got it. Yeah. It's a play on the word. I love that. Is there anything in the project that we haven't covered that you feel is important before we kind of go to the audience for any questions? I wait, before we get to that question, you have somebody on staff that's called a Chief Adventure Officer. I would love to know what a Chief Adventure Officer does, and how can I get that job?
Well, Geo is our Chief Adventure Officer.
I love that.
Right? He's our little guy, and we want him to be part of the team. And I don't even know if some of the people on our marketing team are on this call, and I don't know if they even know this, but I do have long-term big plans for Geo. Right? Geo has a backstory. Geo has an origins story of where he grew up and what his life looked like, and Geo has a little house. So I really want to blow up geo in all of this also. This is a big goal, maybe like a illustrated book or something about geo, but geo is going to grow with us as all members of the team. So he is our chief adventure officer.
I love that. And I wanted to ask you to, how do people participate, right? So there's a whitelist right now. You can get on the whitelist by doing what? Like, what would somebody need to do today if they wanted to participate in this sale whenever it does happen early 2024?
Yeah, our team's done a wicked job of laying this out really clear, all in our Discord. You can engage socially on all of our socials. You can play games night with us. We do games night every Tuesday night. You can take part in that. You can do some create some memes. You can do a whole bunch of things to get whitelisted, and it's all laid out really, really nicely right at the top of our Discord channel. But we want to give out whitelists.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can give one out right now if you really want to give a few out. But
I think the team is planning something.
All right.
They said they're going to drop a link in here. They're going to take care of this. So yes, we definitely want to do this.
Let's do whitelist. Yeah, I think there's some people that definitely would be interested in. I'm actually pretty interested too, but I will talk to you guys in the background about that. But is there anything on the project that we haven't covered that you feel is important that we should bring up?
Oh, we kind of went through everything. We keep saying fence, drop, snag. It's 3 steps. We want to build this. Our whole goal is to onboard a ton of users, right? To onboard my dad, right?
Yeah.
And my dad's not going to buy anything if he has to connect a crypto wallet to it, right? So I guess the other thing that we haven't really talked about is the other core piece of technology, as I consider it, for the platform, and that's the minting on demand.
Okay.
And minting on demand is not it's not patented. It's been done before. It's tech that exists. But really, what we're doing here is when you're in that audience watching Tiesto and that QR code goes up and you pull down to collect, you're not minting when you pull down. What you're doing is you are purchasing a file that's being put into your MyGeoTokens wallet, your native wallet that resides within the application itself. Right when you do pull down, it does give the option, would you like to mint now? And then at which point you can mint to one of your connected wallets. Or you don't. And it sits in your MyGeoTokens wallet. And the way that you sort of confirm authenticity of each of these things is you embed a little bit of metadata into one of the pixels, right, of one of the images. So this is some of the stuff that we've been working on and building so far. But this is going to be the piece that allows people to just buy things without having to connect a crypto wallet, because that is going to scare most people away in the moment when they're there and they want to buy. You can't ask them to go create a phantom wallet. Not yet. Yeah. You can take their money. You can give them the file to go mint later, if and when they decide that this NFT is picking up some steam, or maybe it's going up in price, or people are talking about it, and maybe you want to mint then. But it's the other core piece of tech with the platform, I think.
Yeah, and especially if you're at events too, right? Like, and if you don't have a wallet set up, you're not going to sit there and not enjoy the event and try to set up a wallet, write down a seed phrase. Like, it's just, that is not. So I love that you guys have thought this through and you're making it easier for people. Are you going to have a share option, right? So like, as you're doing it, you mint the NFT, or you create the NFT, or you buy the NFT. Is there going to be a button right then and there that you're actually going to be able to post right to social media or right to wherever you want to share this with friends and family?
I hadn't really thought of that. It's a really good idea.
I will charge for this idea. Let me know.
Yeah. I like that idea. But I don't think it's in the original design right now, but I like it a lot.
Patent pending. So I'll let you know. I'll have my people reach out to your people, but no, I think that would be a fantastic idea, because what does everyone want to do when they're dealing or experiencing something very unique? They want to share it. That's the reason that they're going to be buying something, so they can show their friends or their family in that moment, hey, I just did this really cool, unique thing. And I think that's how you onboard the next 100,000 users, while the event's happening, and then people will, just take a look and get involved, and that's really what you want, right? No, I love that. Let me do this. Let me ask the audience, is there any questions from the audience about Geo. I know we went through this. We asked a lot of good questions. But if there's anything that is not, let me know and I will bring it up real quick. JP did ask, you did get an example in the white paper about Nike and LeBron named on the website. This is just an example, right? You don't really actually have a partnership with Nike or LeBron, because that would be just like legendary stuff. But is that just an example of the use case and what you're trying to do?
Just an example of the use case. Yeah, we have nothing actually lined up with LeBron.
Got it.
Yeah.
So no worries there. Man, when we ask good questions, sometimes the audience doesn't have very much. I did see Christine typing, but maybe we got her question answered. But is there anything else that you would kind of want to share in closing about the project? Like, I know that you're going to share a link, or maybe it was shared already. Maybe it's the one I shared above. But how can people get involved right now other than that? Is it joining the Discord? Is it joining? Do you have a Telegram? Where do people go to get the latest and most up-to-date information on the project?
Yeah, Discord's definitely the place to be. But also Twitter. Like we're pretty lively on Twitter. I would say between those two, you're along for the ride with us.
Rock and roll. Well, hey, I really appreciate it. It doesn't look like we have any questions from the audience. Thank you for your time. I would love to have you back when we get closer to launch. That way, maybe the people that, weren't here or didn't watch the replay or didn't catch this on YouTube, maybe we'll have an opportunity to participate. How long is this whitelist going to be open for? Do people need to kind of get on this today? Or if they're watching this, maybe a month from now, how soon do they need to get involved to be a part of this whitelist if they want to participate?
Well, earlier the better. Like this team is doing a really good job for us right now, and we're starting to pick up some steam. So I would say get in sooner than later. Like I said, we want to launch this Genesis collection by like January 15th. So I would say before Christmas kind of thing.
I love it, and I'm hoping by like January 16th or 17th, this whole thing is sold out, and you guys can take the money, complete the platform, and I'd love to see you guys onboard 1 million users, in the first 12 months. No pressure, but I think it's a really unique use case. I love that you guys didn't involve an actual token, because you really don't need it for what you're trying to do, and it's noise that you left out, and I love that you're focusing on the technology and the experience and not just the noise around a token. So congrats, and thank you for your time. I appreciate you coming in.
Thanks, Sensei. I appreciate you letting me talk to your community. I'm very, very appreciative. Thank you.
Aloha, my friend. Thank you so much. And everybody, if you just joined and you maybe didn't miss it, let me go ahead and